Lightning down 2-0. And I was pissed yesterday or 2 days ago about everything that was going down. Loved the effort last night. And for all the people that talk about the physicality and the hits, Jay, they got to be more physical. They got to have more hits, blah, 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 blah. And again, I told you guys about the lazy narratives when it comes to hits and when it comes to physicality. Where'd you hear it? Right here. Everybody doesn't know their elbow from their asshole when you're talking about hockey. The first thing they're going to do, the first thing they're going to talk about when teams don't win is that, oh, man, they're getting out-hit. Oh, man, they're not as physical. It's just such a lazy way to analyze what is going on. Last night, the Lightning out-hit Florida 38-34. Is everybody happy now? You won the hit battle. Woohoo! Awesome. I'm ecstatic. They out-hit them. What did that give you? Gave you jack shit. Didn't give you anything. Nothing. Nada. They were more physical. Everybody got what they like. So dumb. Time and space. That is way more important than the physicality. They are all over the Lightning. Stick checks, sticks in the passing lanes. Look at the power play last night. The power play was 0 for 5. 0 for 5. Look at how many block shots the Florida Panthers have. This, to me, is a much bigger story of this series than the hits. Last night, Florida has 20 block shots. The Lightning, 6. They are not getting in the shooting lanes. They are not getting in the way of some of these shots. That is a huge reason why the Lightning are down 2-0 in this series and why they lost 2-0 last night in Game 2. The Lightning have to be better. And there's one guy that stepped up from Week 1 to Week 2. Or Game 1 to Game 2, and that's Ryan McDonagh. I thought he played really well last night. I thought Recher played really well last night as well. Okay? But there's two things that I want to address here more than anything else. And the first thing is the hit on Brandon Hagel. From where I sat last night in the press box, I had a clear view of the hit from Brandon Hagel on Florida Panthers captain Sasha Barkov. And the first thing I said when that hit happened was that it was going to be a 5-minute major. The first thing I said, for a multitude of reasons. One, the puck was nowhere near that right corner when the hit was levied on Barkov. Number two, I saw it. McDonagh's the guy that touched the puck. Barkov attempted to lift his stick to try to make a play there, but he did not have clear possession whatsoever. Next up, it was a blindside hit. It was a blindside hit in a big way. And we've heard them talk about getting rid of those type of hits, eradicating them from the sport. We see it in the NFL. We see it in the NFL all the time. We talk about it. Guys like John Lynch couldn't play today, right? We've heard that before. The NHL has said in years past that they are trying to get rid of hits like that. They're getting rid of those Scott Stevens-like hits where guys are looking up and it's a blindside hit and they don't see him coming, and then the guy gets hit like a mother effing freight train. That falls under that category right there. The other thing, whether you guys like to admit it or not, is that Barkov stayed down. He really took punishment on that hit. And I know when you look at the stats, it says, Hagel's 6'1" and Barkov is 6'3". Trust me. I have been in the press conferences, in the locker rooms with those guys. I don't know if Hagel's 6'1". I sure as hell know that Barkov's 6'3". That is a big, solid individual. And for a guy that's at least 2 inches shorter, to hit a big guy like that, and Barkov is a guy that really does a good job of taking care of himself. He doesn't take big hits like that. But Hagel got the leverage, and he smoked him because he didn't see it coming. There is no room in the game for hits like that. And there's no room in the game last night for a hit like that. There's 9 minutes left on the clock. You're trailing. You're losing. You're on the power play. Whether you agree if it was a major or not, it's still a 2-minute penalty, and you're taking your team off of the man advantage when you're trailing by 1-0. Take the referee's opinion, the league's opinion, my opinion out of this. That's a poor decision from Brandon Hagel. And I truly believe that it had something to do with him getting cross-checked from behind earlier in the game and taking a boarding penalty from Carter Verhaeghe. Now, I understand what people are saying. That should have been a major. I thought it should have been reviewed, and I said that as well. But the fact that Hagel got up, and then after the penalty was called, he's skating in front of the Florida bench, and he's pointing, and he's talking smack to him. The referees just normally are going to look at that and say, it doesn't look to be as bad as we initially thought. If Hagel takes that hit right there and he goes down, I think you have a much better chance that it's going to be a major penalty. People want to act like that shouldn't matter. It does. It's just natural, just the way you look at it. Because initially I said, he could be in serious danger right there. But when he pops back up, you think, maybe it's not as bad as you initially thought. But I think that it was the right call, and I really wouldn't be surprised if he got suspended for Game 3. He's got a hearing today with the player safety crew. That was a rough looking hit. And it's just, again, uncalled for, unnecessary. I think it was the right call. I know I'm in the minority with that, but he's got to be smarter. He's got to be smarter. This whole team has to be smarter if they're going to get back into the series. And now, with a clearly compromised Anthony Cirelli and Luke Glendening, you may be without one of your best two-way players in Brandon Hagel for Game 3. The other thing, I need to take a drink before this. I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. The Lightning are doomed if their star players don't step up. Doomed. And if they don't pick it up in a big way in Game 3, they have played their last game at Amalie Arena this season. Shout out to Ryan McDonagh, because I thought he took a step up from Game 1 to Game 2. But I want to talk about 3 players on this team that deservedly need to get called to the blue carpet and pick it up, because they're the big dollar guys and they are leaders on this team. And the first one is Andrei Vasilevskiy. And the reason why I want to talk about him first is because that first 20 minutes was unacceptable last night. The last 40, he was fantastic. He tracked the puck much better. The rebound control was through the roof. But just that first slip up in the first 20 minutes, the rebound control was off. I don't care what anybody says. That goal scored by Nate Schmidt cannot go in. He's 60 feet away, skating backwards. It's a slap shot going against the grain. You're not screened at all. That puck cannot go in. We're not talking about a run-of-the-mill goaltender. We're talking about the best goalie of this generation. That puck cannot go in. And I said it on social media. He needs to step it up or this series is over. And he did. So that's why my criticism for 88 starts there and ends there. But the next 2 guys, it does not end there. Number 77, Victor Hedman. You, my friend, are the best defenseman in Lightning history. You are one of the best defensemen in the league, and you have been for a very long time. But you are getting outplayed by the other number 77 in this series. Niko Mikkola is playing better than you. You have not hit the net in what seems like forever. My friend, I love you. You are one of my favorite players, one of my favorite guys to be around. But you had as many shots on goal last night as me and David Terry and Christopher Cole and everybody here on the Recher podcast today. That's not good enough. You need to be way better. How many times did Victor Hedman let the puck get out of the zone last night when it needed to be kept in? Way too many. How many times did he miss the net? Way too many. Hetty, come on, brother. This is your time. You need to show everybody that you're the captain, that you're leading from the front. Not good enough. And last but certainly not least is number 86, Nikita Kucherov. Guys, it's 12 straight playoff games without a goal for Nikita Kucherov. 12 straight. Kuch had damn near 21 minutes of ice time last night, 7 minutes and 43 seconds on the power play. 7 43. More than anybody on the Lightning. He had one shot on goal. One shot on goal. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. What are we doing? What are we doing? Our leaders have to step up. If not, they're getting swept. Get out the brooms. I'm driving my unhappy ass down to Sunrise for this series. Game 3 tomorrow, Game 4 on Monday. Those two guys need to step it up. No excuses. Listen, if you go down and you lose and you get beat by a better team and you're giving it all you got, fine. But you can't tell me that that's the best that Victor Hedman and Nikita Kucherov have. They're a huge reason why they finished second in the Atlantic and why they were a trendy pick to go deep in the postseason and why this team went to 3 Stanley Cup finals. But in 2025, this postseason, utterly ridiculous. Come on, guys. You have it in you. If you don't want to be making your tea times on Tuesday, then step it up starting Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock. And I made this mention yesterday as well. It'd be nice to score on the power play. 0 for 5 last night. You know who had 3 power play goals in round 1 last year in 5 games against the Panthers? You betcha. 3 power play goals in 5 games. He was the best player on the team in the playoffs. So when everybody wants to talk about all these things, about what the plus minus was in the regular season, all these other things, let's not forget who the best forward was for the Bolts in round 1 last year. And I guarantee you, guaranteed, the Lightning win that last game last night if number 91 is in his office firing those pucks. But we don't have that. I hope you're happy.